Hey dudes, how is it going? Welcome back to the channel. So, today I will talk to you about how to create a great home studio for under €1,000. And speaking of studio, my studio is still under renovation, but I hope that it will be done this weekend. So, I have been taking some things into consideration. First of all, not every one of you lives in a house, so I have been taking living in an apartment into consideration. If you live in an apartment, this will help you as well, I promise you that. Second of all, let's assume you own one instrument, and let's say you own a guitar for this matter. Okay, let's jump right into it then. So, the first thing you would need is a recording software. And for that I recommend Reaper, because Reaper is a great software to use, have great plugins, and it's fairly cheap. The cost of Reaper is €53 for a full license. You only pay $53 and you own the license. So just go to reaper.fm and click on purchase, and you will see that you can buy a discounted license for $60 and a commercial license for $225. But you don't need to buy that $225 worth of license, so you can just purchase the $60 license, and that is if you do own a home recording studio and doesn't make more than $20,000 a year from recording. So the next thing you will need is a sound interface. The website I will use is tomon.de. You can go there yourself and check it out. They are great. And I will also point out that this is not a sponsored content whatsoever, but I've always been using Tomon, and it's fast delivery, great prices, and amazing products. They are selling about every brand you can imagine. So, the next thing you will need is a sound interface. And for that I would recommend the Tascam US16X08. It's a great interface, I use it myself. It has 16 inputs, 8 of them is lining and 8 of them is XLR. And I would actually recommend buying this just because if you want to upgrade your studio in the future, you already have a great interface. Okay, the next thing is a microphone stand, because you do need to have a microphone stand in order to place your mic somewhere. And the Millennium MS 2004 works perfectly. It's a very cheap mic stand, but the foot is fairly heavy, so it stands firmly on the ground and will not tilt at all. I do use this myself, and I have no plans of switching it out anytime soon. To get a good vocal sound without any popping, I highly recommend you buy yourself a pop filter. I do use the T-Bone MS-180 and it works great. It's a cheap one, but it doesn't have to be expensive in order to work. So get yourself one of these and you're set. You will not have any pop. The T and S goes through as it should. It's not buzzing anything. You will not have any frequencies going over and taking over, so this is a good pop filter, and buy one. Another great thing to have when you record vocals is some sort of vocal booth. I use this T-Bone Mix Screen LE. It works splendidly. Once again, it's not expensive at all, but it does the job, and it goes perfectly on the microphone stand, and the weight doesn't have any impact. The microphone stand will not tilt at all. Okay, so the next thing you need is to create a beat. And yes, of course you can use samples, but who wants to use samples? Samples are just a machine playing for you and it sounds terrible. And yes, I promised you that I would take an apartment living into consideration, so no, we will not be using acoustic drums. But actually you can get an electronic drum kit fairly cheap. This is the Millennium MPS 150. Sure, it's not the real deal, but it's still better than using samples because you get your soul in some way into the drums, and yeah, it's better than nothing. It's better than samples. Let's agree on that. So, the final thing you need is to create some heaviness, and for that we need the bass. Yes, we do need a bassist in our life, because without bass it would sound weak, it would sound empty. The bass player has a place in this world, and yes, we do need it. So I would recommend Harley Benton JB20. It's a great bass, it's a cheap bass, but I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive. You just want to record, and for that you can start out with cheap gear and then upgrade it, because this Harley Benton bass, it does the work and it actually has a great tone. I've been using one myself and it actually works. It's a great tone. So yeah, get your hands on one of these. So the big question here is, what does this home studio actually cost you? And I will answer that question for you. You get all of these for only 846 euros. So under 1,000 euros you have your own great home recording studio, and actually this will last you for at least a couple of years ahead. If you feel like switching something out, do so, but this material here will actually get you set to start recording your own music. So, down below I have left you the list with all the gear and what it costs. So go check it out at taman.de. They have a lot of gear, so perhaps you would like to switch something out from my list, or maybe create your own. Who knows? Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope it has been informative for you. Don't forget to leave a like and smash the subscribe button. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, let's see you in the next one. Peace!